I wanted to show you how to set up a net present value problem just by hand. And remember, if you set it up properly, even without calculating it out, I tend to give most, if not all, credit. So it's really important to know. I've got this example that I made up on the fly for a screencast where I used a spreadsheet. But if you're not going to do it with a spreadsheet and want to do it by hand, I'm just going to walk through that exact same example. So notice what I've got going on here. In the first period, you're paying out $500,000. Let's say a one-period med school. Each period will be 5 years, whatever. A decade, whatever. Anyway, in the first period, this comes one period out, you're getting $200,000, and then I just had the earnings go up 10% a year, just somewhat arbitrarily. And so this is your benefit stream, period 1, period 2, period 3, period 4. And what I did down here was just take the benefits. There's nothing in the cell, it's 0. The benefits minus the costs, and had your net benefit in this row here. And it's undiscounted, but it's sort of handy. And it's handy because the formula for net present value, as you'll recall from my screencast, that, by the way, I noticed most of you are not looking at the screencast. I know you're busy, but you know, it's pretty important background information, especially for those of you who have not had principles of economics before this, which almost none of you have had. So, you know, I know it's a lot of work, but it's important work. Anyway, the formula for net present value is the benefit in period T minus the cost in period T. Let me write cost as a C, because that's what would make sense to do. And then we discount that by 1 plus R to the T. And the reason we do it that way is explained in detail in the screencast that I put up before class 2 meeting. Anyway, that's equivalent to the expression in the book, which I don't have it in front of me, but it was summation from T equals 0 to capital T. That would be the last period over which you're paying out costs or receiving benefits. They had a delta to the T times I in period T, and delta, remember, was equal to 1 over 1 plus R. So I to the T is the same as BT minus CT, and delta to the T is the same as 1 over 1 plus R to the T. So that's how those two expressions relate. They're exactly equivalent. All right, so I have this stream, and I want to set it up. So net present value would be equal to, let's start with the period, the value in period 0. That's today. So since it's today, it's $1. It's in today's dollars already. That's just simply negative 500,000. I don't have to discount because it's today. But starting with the money we either spend or get, in this case we just start getting money in period 1 and beyond. Now I have to start discounting. That 200,000 that I get a year from now is in next year dollars. To put that in this year dollars, I need to discount it. By the way, in my example in the screencast, I use a interest rate of 7%. And that's good enough to use again. And 7% is the same as 0.07, which is the form you need it here. So 1 plus 0.07 is 1.07 to the 1 power, to the power of 1. Well, that's just 1.07. Now, I got to do something about this second period term. In an undiscounted form, it's 220,000. And I need to discount that. But now it's coming 2 years out, so it's 1.07 squared. And then 3 years out, or 3 periods out, these could be decades or half decades or whatever, The third period value, undiscounted, is $242,000. I see I'm going to run out of room here. And then I would discount that 1.07 to the third power, because that's coming 3 periods away. And then finally, that fourth period earnings, undiscounted, it's $266 and $200. But it comes 4 years away, so I'm going to need to discount it with a discount factor for 4 years, which is 1.07 to the fourth. And there we go. Now, to sum all this up, that's a lot of entries into the calculator, and over the years, there's actually, I wouldn't be able to do that accurately in a calculator, but maybe 1 out of 4 tries. That's why I do anything like this in a spreadsheet, and why on exams I just tell students, hey, set it up right, walk away. Don't worry about calculating it out. You got important things to think about, and if you've got it set up properly, then you know the material, which is what I care about. We have spreadsheets to do the calculating for us.